Elanco, we are driven by our vision of food and companionship, enriching life.
En in vandag se nuus, Neil Wilke is van dese week tydens 'n geleentheid by Nampo Kaap in Bredasdorp as die Nedbank MPO rentmeester van 2023 aangewys. Hier is Wilke oor sy prestasie en die praktyke wat daartoe bygedra het.
Dit is vir my 'n wonderlike voorreg om deel te wees van die rentmeesterskap toekenning tussen die MPO en Nedbank, en dit beteken vir my baie om deel te kan wees van die proses en om te kan leer en te kan groei en net vir ander boere te wys dat daar soveel voordele is in rentmeesterskap en dat ek net deur geloof en deur die omgewing te respekteer net kan 'n bydrae lewer. Die praktyke wat ons toegepas het, het ek baie hulp gekry van Trace and Save en ook van Woodland se kant af om net ons te help om grond te verbeter, om grondbiologie, om anders te kyk na die manier hoe ons boer, om meer gras te groei, om meer winsgewend te wees, omdat ons meer gras kan groei en ons 'n gesonder koei in die proses na vore bring en so goedkoper melk produseer, en is 'n wonderlike voorreg om deel te kan wees van 'n span van wat my so ongelooflik ondersteun en mens daagliks bystaan en help, en waar ons net saam met die natuur en saam met die grond kan werk om 'n beter toekoms te skep.
En so gesels Neil Wilke. Influential agricultural economist Wandile Sihlobo recently launched his book, A Country of Two Agricultures. The launch took place at the AGBA's headquarters in Pretoria and was attended by various dignitaries and the media. The Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, Muketsa Ramasodi, was also present. 5,000 copies of the book had already been snapped up in its first week of release. The Plaas TV team spoke to Sihlobo about the book and its contents.
Today in South Africa, we are at a point where the South African economy is facing many challenges, and we are thinking about how to grow the South African economy. And we're dealing with broadly three problems: high unemployment, high poverty, and of course, the issues of inequality and low growth. And agriculture has a role to play in that and making sure that South Africa has a better tomorrow. And I thought that writing this book in the context of today is important because the book deals with growing the South African agricultural pie, and secondly, closing off the dualism that we still see in the sector existing today. The book, A Country of Two Agricultures, I mean, the title comes back from a paper that was presented by Molly Lipton in winter of 1976 at the University of Cape Town, in a different context back then. But she said, look, South Africa has two agricultures. And when I think about it and look today driving around, you still see that. You have a predominantly white commercial sector, and you also have a predominantly black smallholder farming sector. The question then is to say, how do you lift the other sector so that you close this dualism? Because if it's not closed, it always gives us some political economy challenges that always confront us as a country as we go forward. And I think at some point we need to close that. But most importantly, which is what the country of two agricultures lift, is this idea where people see agriculture and the transformation topic as a zero-sum game, taking from one farmer to giving to another. But now we're talking about how do you grow the agricultural pie and close the divisions that do exist in a productive way.
Congratulations to Wandile Sihlobo. India disrupted the global rice market in July when it imposed an export ban on milled white rice. This was followed by an August export tax on parboiled rice and the establishment of a minimum export price for basmati rice. According to a report by the United States Department of Agriculture, this shift has caused global importers to turn to Thailand and Vietnam, resulting in export quotes reaching their highest level since 2008. India's position as the largest exporter, holding approximately 40% of global trade, has led to a sharp increase in rice prices, affecting regions that are heavily reliant on imports, such as sub-Saharan Africa. According to Statistics South Africa's recently announced GDP figures, South Africa's economic performance in the second quarter of 2023 has increased by 0.6%. According to the data, this was driven by growth in 9 of the 10 industries. Nationally, agriculture increased by 4.2%. Contributing 0.1% to the gross domestic product. According to Agbi's chief economist Wandile Sihlobo, the performance is based on the production conditions of various field crops and horticulture. The Western Cape Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Ivan Meyer, said this is great news, adding that horticulture is predominantly produced in the Western Cape.
I am pleased with the latest growth figures coming from the agricultural sector in the Western Cape. Western Cape agriculture is healthy and growing despite the many external risk factors. The agricultural sector creates significant new jobs, and our export figures is also creating much needed jobs in the Western Cape economy.
The Minister of Agriculture in the Western Cape, Dr. Ivan Meyer. The Beefmaster Group, one of the biggest feedlots in the country, recently announced the appointment of Gert Blignout as its new CEO. Blignout will succeed Lou van Reenen, who has decided to step down from the role to focus on his family after 16 years of dedicated service in this position. Van Reenen will become the executive chairman of the Beefmaster Group board. Blignout's appointment is effective 1 October this year, and Ruli van Reenen, supply chain executive at Beefmaster Group, says this appointment is a result of a carefully planned succession strategy. En 'n kranige 85-jarige perderuiter, oom Gert Lotter van Tarkastad, het by die afgelope Somerset Oos-skou 'n eerste plek in die 5-gang plesierperdklas losgeslaan en 'n derde plek in die amateur 5-gang klas. Plaas Media se Karen Venter het tydens die skou met hom oor die prestasie gesels.
Perde kan terug onthou, het ek die eerste 7 dae al op Somerset Oos-skou. Ons het nou baie afrigters en ons het baie dames wat uitstekend ry. Ek dink baie van hulle is meer toegewyd as die mans. Ek dink is daar die moederlike instink in die versorging en die liefde wat hulle vir die perde het.
Nou ja, dit wil gedoen wees. En die Wolmark het van dese week sy opwaartse neiging van verlede week behou. Hier is Heinrich Victor met ons syfers.
Op die 5de wolveiling van die seisoen wat op 6 September plaasgevind het die Cape Wool's Merino aanwyser met 0.9% vir nie gesertifiseerde wol en 1.2% vir gesertifiseerde wol gestyg teenoor die vorige veiling en teen 'n skoonprys van R154,50 per kilogram en ook R167,66 per kilogram onderskeidelik gesluit. Die Australiese EMI het ook beter verhandel en 1.8% versterk teenoor die vorige veiling. Dit was dan ook die groot bydraer tot die positiewe sentiment in die Suid-Afrikaanse wolmark, ten spyte van 'n sterker rand tydens die veiling.
So sê Heinrich Victor en dit is dan ook vandag se nuus.